Welcome to this How It Works video about scrap metal cuber, also known as a crusher. If you have ever wondered how scrapyards and recycling centers manage to transport and process all those piles of scrap metal, then you have come to the right place. A scrap metal cuber is a machine that compresses scrap metal into smaller, more manageable cubes. These cubes can be easily transported to recycling facilities and are also more efficient to store. The process of cubing scrap metal involves several steps, which we will explain in detail. First, the scrap metal is fed into the cuber by an excavator with a claw attachment. The compression chamber is where the magic happens. This chamber contains hydraulic rams which not only control the main ram but also control the crusher's crushing gates on each side of the cuber. This hydraulic system supplies a tremendous amount of force to the scrap metal. As the hydraulic gates presses down from the side onto the scrap metal, it slowly begins to take shape. That is when the main ram comes into action. The force applied by the ram is so great that the scrap metal is compressed into a dense cube. The size of the cube can vary depending on the size of the cuber and the amount of scrap metal being processed. Once the cube is formed, it is removed from the compression chamber by the excavator. The cube is then transported to a storage area or loaded onto a truck for transport to a recycling facility. The scrap metal cuber is a vital piece of equipment for scrapyards and recycling centers. It allows them to process and transport large amounts of scrap metal quickly and efficiently. This cuber also has an extra feature called a shearer. In a scrapyard, heavy metal shears are used to cut and process metal scraps into manageable sizes for recycling. Let's take a closer look at how this machine works. The heavy metal shearer is a powerful machine that uses hydraulic force to cut through large pieces of metal. The operator of the excavator starts by positioning the metal scrap in the compression chamber. Once the scrap is in position, the operator of the cuber activates shearing mode. They then compress the scrap metal into a manageable shape. Then uses the cuber's ram to push the scrap out the shearing port to the desired length. The shearing blade is then activated, and it moves down towards the metal scrap. The blade creates a shearing force that separates the metal into two pieces. The shearing process produces a loud noise, but it's over quickly, and the operator can retrieve the cut metal pieces. The heavy metal shearer can cut through various types of metals, including steel, aluminum, and copper, making it a versatile tool for metal processing. Once the metal scraps are cut into manageable sizes, they can be transported for further processing and recycling. The heavy metal shearer is a crucial tool in the recycling industry, providing an efficient and effective way to process metal scraps and reduce waste. Additionally, the cube's scrap metal takes up less space, allowing scrapyards and recycling centers to store more scrap metal in a smaller area. In conclusion, scrap metal cubers are an essential tool for the recycling industry. They allow scrapyards and recycling centers to process and transport large amounts of scrap metal quickly and efficiently. We hope this video has helped you understand how these machines work and their importance in the recycling industry. Thanks for watching. Please stay tuned for part 2 and 3 of this series on how a scrap metal recycling works.